Hi, greetings and aloha, everyone. Jonathan here. I'm just checking this new microphone out right now. I want to make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear. So as soon as we get some people hopping on here, we're going to be talking about quantum shape-shifting and flow point manifestation, essentially a vision that came to me in my meditation this morning. And I went super deep, real deep this morning. I see Noble just hopped on. Noble, can you just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly? I'm using a new microphone here and just want to make sure that this transmission is coming through loud and clear. I can get a little bit closer. I know they want me to be this close to the microphone, but I don't feel like hunching over. So please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I'm just listening in my headphones. It sounds like it's all right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So let's see where to begin. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this transmission today. I am here in Portugal, right in the center of the old town, and just loving the energy here. And I have a nice space where I'm posted up here with an organization called Nomad X, which is a platform similar to, it's like a booking platform for finding accommodation, but it's for longer stays for digital nomads. So I'm here right now, and I've just had this beautiful space to go super deep into my daily practice, my meditation practice, and just feels so nurturing. So thank you to Nomad X for bringing me out this month. Going to be doing a series of workshops and trainings and dance parties and masterminds, and it's just going to be an epic month. So if you're in the area or you want to tune in, I might be making some of the events live. I'll definitely share links to those. And today I'm excited to share with you this reflection that I had from a morning meditation. And honestly, like these two concepts, these two words, came to me in my meditation, and these are new concepts that I have kind of thought about before, but literally just were so in my face that I couldn't avoid it. And it's this idea of quantum shape-shifting and flow point manifestation and how they both tie in together. And so I want to start off by just sharing a little bit about the background. So basically, the last 3 days in a row, I've had really interesting meditations, and I went deep on all three. I was at least an hour. And when I do one of these journeys, it's kind of a psychedelic experience. When I go into it, I'm like, okay, like I have the same level of like, what's going to happen here? Like what is going to emerge in the next hour? And so I kind of went into that. But yesterday it was interesting because yesterday I had this thought, and it was that I wonder if I were to dance. Like I was thinking I'd love to dance right now. Maybe if I danced and meditated at the same time, it would work. But in my mind, I thought, no, I'm going to save my energy. I'm not going to waste my energy on dancing. I'm just going to sit, and I'm going to go yin, and I'm going to focus. And that's kind of where I started. But my meditation, I was just kind of like slunched down. I wasn't super activated. And it kind of led me into this journey where it just wasn't very profound yesterday. And it was, and today I had a completely different experience. Today I had one of the most profound meditations of my entire life. It was very psychedelic. It felt like I was on ecstasy and LSD at the same time. And when it hit me, it was like the come on. If you're familiar with psychedelics, it's like there's something called the come on, which is like as it's starting to come on, you're like, whoa, this is intense. But like with this today, it was like instant. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, and it immediately came into this this different energetic state where basically my entire body was vibrating at such a high frequency, and I started to have these visions that I'm going to share with you today. So before I go into what happened, I want to share a couple like a prequel. I'm going to do like a Quentin Tarantino, like I'm going to tell you the end, and then I'm going to go back in time, and then I'm going to go back into the story. It'll be great. And so basically what I want to start off with are three main ideas around quantum shapeshifting. The first thing is that we live in a vibrational universe. The second thing is I want to teach you about the wave function, which is a mathematical equation. And then I want to also talk about the observer effect. And we're just going to go through this very quickly because I know I talk about these things a lot, but I just want to reiterate. So we live in a vibrational universe. You can see me, you can hear me because of vibration, because of frequency. You can feel energy. The thought triggers an electrochemical vibrational impulse that triggers your emotions. Emotion is like energy in motion. They say that neurons that fire together wire together. I just shared a video on my Facebook page today that was showing a time lapse of neurons actually firing and creating new neural synaptic networks, which is also part of that idea, this concept of neurogenesis, kind of related to two different things, but similar, same, but different. That's what this place that I'm staying in right now is called, same. And it's funny because the Wi-Fi password is but different. It's a Thailand saying, but anyway, so we live in a vibrational universe. Everything is vibration. It's scientific fact. I think we all can agree upon that. We have high days, we have low days, we have a positive and negative ionic charge in all of our atoms, and we're living in this vibrational universe. Cool? Check. Is this resonating? Does anyone have any questions? And if you do, please ask. I would love to hear your reflections or any quotes, or just anything that if this is resonating, I would love to just, yeah. And also if you're into this subject, give me some likes, give me some love, and please share this video. And John Jacob, my brother, says, Pura Vida, what's up, my brother? Yeah, looking forward to doing a Facebook Live with you soon and sharing your transmission and your frequency with the world, because I'm excited that you're going to be one of our epic facilitators at the Vision Quest 2020 retreat in Guatemala in January. Oh my God, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. All right, break it down. So here we go. Here we flow. All right, so check it out, you guys. So first thing, vibrational universe, check. Second thing that I want to talk about is the wave function. So there's something called the wave function. It's a mathematical equation. You can actually Google it. Just Google wave function in quantum physics. You'll get a big mathematical equation. And what's interesting about it is that basically it's, if you've ever heard of or seen cymatics before, cymatics is basically the science of vibration. And if you look up a video about cymatics, they put the salt or the sand on the vibrating plate, and then it shapes shapes right to you through shape-shifting shapes. So basically it's, as they increase the frequency, which I'm doing this and like turning a knob, and then it's vibrating a speaker, and the speaker is going, and as it vibrates, the salt or the sand shifts shapes. And so basically this is the mathematical equation, the wave function. It's like F in parentheses, Fx in parentheses, the X, the vibration, the frequency that you emit will change the shape that you get. And so that's a good quote. The frequency that you emit is the shape that you will get. So basically what happens is, as you increase your frequency, as you increase your awareness, you're increasing your frequency. As you're expanding your awareness about a certain topic, you increase your understanding and your ability to have power, right? They say knowledge is power. The more that you know, the more that you can implement, the more that you can flow, the more that if there could be one thing that I say here that could cause you to have a quantum leap in your evolution, your personal and mental and spiritual, physical, emotional evolution, that could literally save you years of time. And that's why it's so important to have mentors and to have supporters and to work with people that are, tapped in or into a subject that you're into, because then you can actually quantum leap. You don't have to go through a step-by-step or linear process based on a limiting, timeline of your previous self. So essentially, we have access to new timelines, and that's the second step here in the vibration. So first step is vibration, vibrational universe. Second step is the wave function. So as you change your frequency, you shift shapes. Now, in quantum physics, though, now you think about your own reality, right? Because basically with the third step is the observer effect. And they say that where attention goes, energy flows. So basically, as you increase your vibration, your frequency, your awareness, you're changing your energy, you're changing your emotion, you're in a different emotional state, you're at a higher vibration, you're living in a higher octave. And what happens is that when you have that kind of vibrational shift in your reality, you start to engage with your reality in a different way. You start to, as you raise your awareness and your frequency, you will have more joy just in general. You'll have more energy. You're going to have a bigger awareness of what's going on in the world. You'll have more focus into what it is that you want and what you don't want, rather than just going with the flow of what other people think that you should be doing, or falling victim to other people's manipulation, or to, like going unconscious and living somebody else's story. Right? Because a lot of people do that. A lot of people just join and say, hey, I don't know how to live my own life. I want to, just do what you tell me to do. And they kind of just give over their willpower to somebody else. This happens frequently. And this happens all the time, just in general. Like, we have a job, and we have a boss, or we have a relationship, and there's waves of self-empowerment and waves of, times when we kind of lose ourselves, right? And then we come back and we meditate. And that's why I'm such a big advocate for meditation, because, people ask me when I travel, they're like, don't you feel ungrounded when you're traveling all the time? And I say, man, I meditate every morning. When I meditate every morning, I come home. I come home every day, every morning. When I wake up, I'm just like, boom, I'm tapped in. And that's what I'm excited to share about today, because today when I meditated, oh my God, I had this vision, and it hit me, the flow point manifestation. It just like came right into my mind. And essentially, I just want to reiterate. So those three foundational components of quantum shapeshifting is that everything is vibration. We live in a vibrational universe. We learned about the wave function of the quantum field, which is essentially the mathematical equation that says that as you change your frequency, the energy in your body in the quantum field actually changes shape. You change your frequency, you're tuning into a different field of potential, a different field of possibility. Every time that you change your frequency, you're opening a doorway to a new dimension or a new experience of your present moment experience, right? Is this resonating? Can you guys please let me know if I'm going too far here? I can slow down, or I can just keep flowing. But let me know if this is resonating. And so basically, once we go into this idea that, okay, we live in a vibrational universe, infinite potentials exist starting in this moment now, infinite timelines in front of me. And the way that I change my frequency is through changing my emotional state, my state of awareness, my state of being. Who am I being right now? What is my state of being? And as you start to shift that, it changes the wave function, meaning it changes the shape of your energetic signature. You're emitting a positive and negative ionic charge. You have atoms that are communicating through photons. You're emitting a biophotonic energy. It's all science, but we're just understanding that as we change our frequency, we actually create a wave or unlock a new frequency of possibility. And so for me, this will happen when I'm in my meditation. I will actually have new revelations, new breakthroughs, new ideas, like this concept that I'm sharing with you today. Also, however, many times I'll be in meditation and then I come out and I'm saying to myself, I know that there's something a sign or a symbol or something is going to make itself available to me that shows me that this moment right here of communicating with the universe in this way, something's happening. And then I'll come out of my meditation and boom, I'll have like an epic, invitation in my inbox, or an opportunity, or, something that was bothering me before was figured out naturally without me even having to think about it. Because essentially, as you increase your frequency, you're increasing what they call syntropy, which means higher degrees of order and organization. Syntropy, which is the opposite of entropy. Entropy is where like the muscles are collapsing and falling apart. Your muscles are deteriorating. They're going into greater disorder. Whereas syntropy is like, greater order, greater structure, greater harmonics, like all of your energy systems are in harmonic alignment. Is this flowing for you guys? Are you feeling me here? All right. Let me know. Give me some likes if you're loving this thing. Please share this video if you know it with anyone that you think this would resonate with. And I'm about to go a little bit deeper here. And let me know if you have any specific questions about anything that I'm talking about, because I know a lot of times it's like we talk about quantum physics, and there's a lot of physicists out there that'll say, oh man, this is pseudoscience, right? Prove it. And it's like, okay, well, go do the research. Like, go research this stuff for yourself. This is a choose your own adventure experience where, I'm just giving you a microdose of this vibrational frequency, and you get to be like, I think I might go Google a little bit and see if I can get a full dose of that magic, because I can feel the resonance of what this guy is saying, but I don't actually know exactly what he's talking about. He's like, does he even know what he's talking about? No. But for real though, this stuff is like what is most alive for me. This is what's most exciting for me, because we are at the precipice of the great awakening of consciousness on our planet. People are waking up, and it's happening more and more frequently and more quickly. And it's up to us to participate in this movement, to be a part of this movement. We have to actively engage in the awakening of consciousness and the transformation and the transmutation of our bodies and our subconscious minds to become vehicles for the universe, to create more creation and to create more order and syntropy and harmony, to create solutions for the challenges that were created in the past based on unconscious programs, limiting beliefs, scarcity, jealousy, or just like, people that were, aiming to just, to implement their own, whatever. So anyway, back on track here, I want to go a little bit deeper into what happened in my meditation this morning and what led me to this idea of flow point manifestation. So as I said yesterday, I had this like great energy, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a good meditation, and I was like, I'm just gonna allow it to happen. And I didn't really have any intention. Honestly, my energy was a little bit kind of just like meh, right? It's like meh, whatever. I didn't really like try that hard. I wasn't actively engaged enough. And so I had a good meditation. I felt good. I felt my body coming into balance, but I didn't have, one of those like psychedelic, like ecstasy blast off, like orgasm, like Kundalini activations that I usually aspire towards in my meditations. So this morning when I woke up, I went out and partied with some friends last night. I had a couple glasses of wine. I called it a night early so that I could come home and meditate and like keep myself accountable to my, my daily practice. And I woke up this morning and I just had this natural energy, and I had a song in my heart, and I was like, I put on my headphones and I just put on the first song that came on my phone. I started dancing. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna start dancing. And I was like, I'm gonna do it. Yesterday, I thought about dancing, but I thought, no, I'm not gonna waste my energy on dancing. I'm gonna go full on into my meditation, whatever. Sometimes, you have these conversations with yourself in your own head. Well, here's the thing. I danced before I meditated this morning. Fucking genius. Oh my God, felt so good. When I activated my body, my joy body, and I just went straight in. And I decided on this meditation, I said, you know what, I'm gonna really give it my best today. I'm gonna surrender so deeply into the field. I'm gonna go into the infinite blackness of the void, and I'm just gonna melt away my entire identity. I'm gonna go into a totally different dimensional experience. And that's essentially the practice of quantum meditation, is that you're dissolving the ego. You're dissolving the ego. You're becoming pure presence, pure consciousness. And as you practice this and you begin to master the muscle memory of this practice, this yoga practice, keeping in mind that yogis did not do yoga so that they could like look good and do selfies on the mountaintop, right? Oh, I feel so enlightened today. No. They did yoga so that they could sit in meditation for 10 hours or for many hours at a time and go as deep as they could into meditation. That's why we do yoga. Not just for Shavasana, even though I love me some deep Shavasana. Yes. send in the love, send in the love. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing some crying faces like, oh no, not another yoga influencer taking another selfie on a mountaintop proclaiming enlightenment. Although I think I've done a couple of yoga selfies, not gonna lie. Whatever. So anyways, so I get in my meditation, and I essentially, what I love in this meditation process is that you're pre-programming your body. So as I said before, I went into the void, I went super deep. And when I lose my identity in the beginning, I actually had some challenges. I was having a little bit of hard time fully surrendering. As you might know, the monkey mind, the ego, the thinking brain just constantly thinks. And if you don't know how to stop it or turn it off, it basically goes all the time until you either have a breakdown and you have to get high or do drugs, or you basically have a breakdown and then you finally start meditating. You get to choose which path you take to the same experience of coming back to oneness, coming back to the source, coming back to that infinite well of energy. But basically, I was battling in my mind with this monkey mind that was basically saying, it didn't work for you yesterday. Why do you think it's going to work for you today? Probably not going to work. You're probably just going to struggle, blah, blah, blah. Like it was just this voice, right? And I was sitting there and I was like, no. And I was having this like battle, like no versus no, no versus no, no versus no. And it just was not working. And then in that moment, I remembered a time that I was meditating, and I was able to overcome that voice. And basically what I did was I came in as my higher self and I said, hey, little self, hey, bud, what's going on? And I put my arm around it energetically. I was just like, what's going on? It's like, hey, I love you. I love you. You're okay. But hey, you don't need to be upset, bud. You can just chill out. You can chill out. I'm here now. And I just like the voice just faded. And then immediately I just boom, became the presence. I brought my brainwaves down into alpha brainwaves, really slow alpha brainwaves, no thought. Boom, I turned my heart on, turned on my living magnet, my body. I was just like radiating this energy, like, and then all of a sudden, I slipped into theta brainwaves, just total nothingness, into the infinite void. And in that stillness, it felt like I was there for a lifetime. And then all of a sudden, the cosmic snake, the only way I could describe it was like it came out of nowhere and it just went boom, and it just blasted through my eyes. It was like this dark, like a black hole, like a tunnel black hole, just went, but a snake just went up my, boom, and it blasted through my eyes. And it was just this force field of energy, that was so powerful. And I completely just surrendered to it. And in a similar way that when you have that like wave of inspiration and you're like, yes, and you just like hold on to it as long as you can, and you know, or when you get goosebumps and you try to hold on to those goosebumps as long as you can and practice that muscle memory. I connected to the energy, and that was the first step. Connect to energy. The second thing that happened is that I realized that this was the source point, that this was source. This was me looking into a black hole, looking into the eye of the needle, as Joe Dispenza calls it, the eye of the needle. I'm like looking into the infinite void, the infinite collapsing of space and time in the present moment, all energy being birthed through me in that present moment, and boom, I'm connected directly to the source. And when I got there, that's when I went even deeper and I said, okay, now I am here. I did it. I arrived. My entire body was turning on, just flushing my body with tens, thousands. Actually, when you open up your heart and you have this kind of blast off moment, according to neuroscientists, that there are 1,300 neurotransmitters that are released inside your body that are healing your body. And I just felt this energy moving through my entire body, pulsing, and I just held it there. And I basically started to tune into what it is that I want to create. I started tuning into my manifestations, my intentions, what I wanted to manifest, and also beyond just the actual things that I like, the thing that I want to manifest, like, oh, I want $1 million. And it was like I was tuning into the vibrational frequency and to the shape. As we talked about earlier, we were talking about the shape shifting and the wave function, the mathematical equation of how you increase your frequency, you change the shape of your reality, you change the vibrational expression of what you're creating. And so essentially, I just went into that field, into the void. I got there, and then boom, I started to practice. And it's like you go to the yoga studio, and then you do yoga. You get into the void, and then you activate the creation that you want to create. You activate the reality you want to create. Mitch, my brother Mitch, says, very inspiring. Makes me pound my chest like a gorilla. It has to be an active engagement to achieve such high states. I believe in approaching a ceremony or meditation like an athletic tournament of the soul. Dude, fucking Mitch, I love you so much, bro. When me and Mitch met, we were at Alex Gray's temple in New York for a psychedelic harm reduction training. And oh my God, was that just such a cool experience and experiment afterwards. It was like we did our training, we went and learned how to like hold space for people that were having a bad trip. And then afterwards we went and like did our own psilocybin. We're like, okay, this is our final exam. Now we got to hold space for ourselves. And that was great, man. But I remember what you were saying about that, how you train and you prepare for a psychedelic journey the same way that an athlete would prepare for their tournament. And I love that because it really is not a competition, but rather a tournament of the soul. And it is a test for your own self, for yourself on a cellular level. And one thing that I always notice in my psychedelic journeys has been that, and I feel like it is very relevant to quantum shapeshifting and flow point manifestation, is that it's always, the experience that I have is always a reflection of the work that I have done on myself up until that moment, right? So if I've been doing a lot of work and I've been doing a lot of meditation, I go into a psychedelic experience and boom, I mean, it's just like, it's alive, it's like, it's aligned and alive. And if I'm out of alignment, then it's like, oh, shift, like, sorry, self, that we're about to go through this darker journey. And I've had those darker journeys, and they have, provided me with their own vibrational medicine of awareness and understanding and perception that has, that I've taken and integrated into my life and reflected, and then come back to doing the work, and then going back into those experiences and being like, wow, yes, I've been doing the work. I can feel it. I'm aligned. I'm harmonized. And then you can use those medicinal shamanic experiences for doing even higher work, higher dimensional work. So rather than doing the interdimensional or the subdimensional or the subconscious dimensional or the earthly, more three-dimensional, experiences, or the 4D experiences, you're tuning more into the 5D and the infinite vertical potential experiences, and collapsing waves of potential into three-dimensional reality, pulling in new experiences rather than just reliving the old experiences and unwinding that trauma, because that trauma gets bound into our bodies and we're holding on to them. And then if we do the medicine or even our meditation or whatever, practice that you're consuming, it's gonna move and groove. And then there's gonna be those moments where you pop. My chest popped. I don't know if you guys heard that. It was cool. But basically that's what happened to me today. It was like this black snake just boom. And now I've never thought about a black snake. I've never heard about it. I mean, I've heard about a cosmic snake before, but I've never thought about that. And that's the interesting thing about these experiences in quantum meditation, is that when you connect to the field, you're basically tuning into the field of nothingness. You're tuning into the field of infinite possibility, because when we move from 3D to 4D to 5D, 5D is infinite possibility. And when you're there, spooky actions, as Einstein describes it, can happen. And Joe Dispenza talks about how the more that you can surrender into the field, the more that you can create from the field. And that's the essence of the group that I created called Quantum Creators. I want you guys to check it out. I'll share a link here for you. And essentially, Quantum Creators is a place to share this type of information and these types of downloads and creating a space and a community for us to basically start to share and exchange ideas, technologies, methods, and practices, so that we can advance ourselves on this journey, and we can help to